Today on John's Chores, we're going to install a big old power strip. So today we're going to replace this nice setup. You can see it on here. You can see back there. So we're getting rid of this. Actually, it is a heavy gauge thing, but it's hooked into the blow dryer and curler. Not that I have any hair, but we're going to replace that. We're going to actually install one of these. So this, we're probably going to flip this around, but we're going to install one of these power strips somewhere in this area, and that way my girlfriend can use that to plug her stuff into. So let's get to it. Okay, so we're going to start with pulling these guys off, or at least this one. So we're going to mount this one of two ways. We're either going to find a stud in here, which I'm sure we can find one, I'm hoping. If not, we'll use a wall anchor. I'm not sure if this comes with wall anchors, but I have a pile of them. And essentially what I'm going to do is find the top stud first. Hopefully it's somewhere in here. And then we'll drill that in. And then what we do, so got my drill. Depending on whether we find a stud or not, I'll put the right drill bit in. And then we can have a level. And what we'll do is we'll put this guy up here and then get it leveled. Once we have the first, the top piece in, we'll just level the bottom. It'll be pretty easy. This shouldn't take too long. And so let's first start with our wall stud. Let's get this joke out of the way. Yep, see, studly. All right, so let's see. Oh, there's one there. Any others? Yeah. Yes. So there was one over here. I wonder if we can go over here with it. What was it? Let's mark that. And I got a pencil. So I'm just going to put a little mark here. And I do it with pencil because I can always get an eraser and erase it if it looks too ugly. Let's see here. This is awfully close to the outlet. So if I went higher, maybe that would work. Alright, I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to put it somewhere in this area, so I need to come up a little higher. Hopefully you can see that. Has a little notch. I can just. All right, so then I got my first mark, and yeah, I'd rather pull this instead because she's going to be unplugging and plugging stuff, so I don't want the pulling to make this thing fall down. So just so you guys know what I'm installing here, I got this from Harbor Freight yesterday. It was about 20 bucks. I've installed a few of these around the house, a couple under my desk, and probably get one for the garage, but you can see all the specs on it, and it seems every time I buy this, sometimes it comes with mounting screws, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know, but I have mounting screws. But I got it from Harbor Freight, like I said. They're not sponsored, and not a lot here. So there's the back of it, just so you can see. So let me get, so I think this is about 3.5 or 4 feet. So I've gathered my things. I've gotten 2 screws. They're both focus. There we go. So 2 screws, and I gotta make sure that it fits through, so it just does. If I push it, I don't know how well you can see it, but I actually have to screw it kind of through the metal a little bit, but it doesn't. If I push hard enough, it'll clack through. I got a drill bit. Again, not sure if you can see it. So this is kind of on the small side of the drill bit. I've got a second size, a little bit bigger if I need it. And my drill. So let's put my drill bit here first. So I do have drill bit. Try to put this as edge as I can, because what you want to make sure is you're drilling at least far enough that you can get your hole screw in there. Even though there's some drywall, it'll probably be more like this. I want to make sure I can at least, I go a little too far. And we're doing this top hole up here, which you can't see. Alright, I reset the camera. Let's see, can we see there? Yeah. So I'm going to drill the first hole. Alright, and we're going to go. Oops. I missed. What did I miss? That's interesting. Could have swore. Try right next to it. Because just up and over a little bit I missed for some reason. Let's see if this will hit it. Alright, you can hear the difference on when you hit a stud and when you don't. That was really weird. Now I need to just test to see if this is going to feel right or not. I left the screwdriver in the other room. Okay, so the hole that's a little further away, we're going to start with that, and we're going to see how it feels in there. I usually start too small than too big. Let's see if it goes in. Yeah, it feels pretty good. Yeah, I think it'll be alright. Alright, so let's hang the top part of this. Shh, don't tell her I might have gotten a little drywall on our scars here. Don't tell me, folks. I don't want to get yelled at. Okay. So the first one is just getting it in there, and we'll get it basically hung, and then we'll level it and put the bottom screw in. Okay, not going to totally screw it in until we have it all secured. So let's bring you up here so you can see. So you can see I still have the screw. Hopefully you can see that. As you can see, I still have the screw sort of half out, but it's pretty sturdy. It's in the stud. I got to move some of this stuff out of the way, and then we'll be back. So yeah, all this stuff's got to get out of the way so I can do that bottom part. And then it'll just plug right down there, so it should be pretty simple. So I've moved some of the stuff. I just wanted to show you what I'm dealing with here. So I just unplugged the orange cable. That's just a garage extension cord that she had there. We're going to have it go run right up here. And I just need to level it. Need to take the paper off it. And then we'll be done. So let me get the paper off, and we'll start the next part. Alright, so a smarter guy than me probably should have checked to make sure this thing even works. I should have plugged it in first, but in for an inch, in for a mile at this point. So what we're going to do is first get my handy level here, and my pencil. And let's do this. Can you see the bubble? Yeah. So I'm trying to get this sort of level. This thing isn't sitting 100% flat, so it's probably a little. There we go. Oops. Let's see. People are going to be mad if I don't get this exact. Alright, that feels pretty good. So I'm marking it, if you can tell. Yep. I don't know if you can see my mark, but it's right there. And then what I'm going to do is get rid of this. And let's put the stud finder. See if it's, yeah, looks like that's a good spot. All right, so we're going to drill. Where's my drill? Sometimes the tools sneak away from you. Hopefully you can see the drill. Yep. Screwdriver. We'll get this started. Nice thing is it kind of fits in there. Screwdriver down. Okay. And then I just gotta find the hole, as they say. I'll lower you a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Go you a little bit. There we go. All right. I moved you a little bit so you can see. Maybe. All right. So I angled you and shoved these scarves out of the way a little bit. You can see what I'm doing. Maybe. Okay. I'm going to get the drill bit here. So I'm going to put one of these chucks on there, the drill. I do have an impact driver that this chuck can fit on, but it's really not that there. So one thing I always do before I test it is I kind of see how much resistance there is, and I want to make sure that we're kind of on the easier side so I can hold that as I spin it. I don't really want this to go in super tight. I'd rather finish the hand tightening, but and if I run into problems, I can always clutch it up a little more. So that's a clutch on your thing. So let's do this. All right, let's probably strip the hell out of that. All right, well, that feels not great. Hand finish that. Once it starts bouncing up and down, all you're doing is stripping the screws. So, and then I'm going to reset the camera, and then we'll finish the final level. So we can still move it back and forth just a hair. The top's not screwed in all the way. So, and then all it's all left to do. In fact, we could do that now. Let's plug this in. So what I'm going to do, let's lower it a little bit. Alright. So it's still got the factory wrapping on it. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull it through if I can. Because I don't necessarily need all this undone, just enough to get it to the plug. That sucks. Alright, well, I'll go get some Velcro here in a minute. I'll tie it up right. There we go. But you can see, I'll plug this in. Nope. And that's a good sign. The light came on. Let's see. Off, on. And somewhere I think it's got a breaker somewhere too, or maybe this is just the breaker. Off, on. Okay. Alright, so let's go to get the top finished, and then we're done. Alright, so I'm just finishing up screwing this in. Oops. Feels pretty good. Let's check our level one more time. It's pretty close. Good enough. Nice and sturdy. Should be able to plug stuff in and out without too much problem. Let's check. Let's plug something in. Is this a curling iron? I guess. Yep. Comes in and out. Just nice way to plug it. Maybe we'll put a nice thing she can use here. Anyways, so that's that far. So the last thing we need to do is just tie up the cable. And we're done. Alright, hopefully you can see this well enough. I've got a big roll of Velcro. This stuff's great. This stuff's cheap at Harbor Freight as well. I love Harbor Freight, if you can't tell. And what we're going to do is just roll this up the best we can. That way it doesn't get stuck on anything. So let me get a piece of out. Get a fairly long piece and cut it. And we can always trim it down if we need to. Just trying to figure out the best way to do this. I think that probably would be good. Alright, we're going to go with that. Let's wrap it. I don't know how well you can see, but I'll show you after. Okay. And because this stuff's so cheap, I like to go, if I can, like wrap a couple times. There we go. Make sure it's not sticking on her scarves. A little bit of this. There we go. Anyway, let me push that back, and so there's the final tie down. So hopefully you can see here, just wrapped around, nothing too fancy. Hopefully that'll hold. That's it. She should have. This thing has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Has a dozen outlets. 12 of these outlets spaced, I don't know, probably 2 inches apart, 2 to 3 inches apart. So plenty of space between outlets. So even if she has the big brick, it should still work fine. Anyways, thanks for watching. Go get a chore done and hit the subscribe and ring the bell and all that stuff. All right, bye.